Hey, this is Sarah Fisher, Confidence Coach for Women. Hey, girl, hey. And today I want to talk to the ladies out there who feel like they are behind or who feel like they might want to give up because they feel as though their dream life, your ideal life is just taking way too long to manifest and to flow. You're taking way too long for that proposal, for that marriage. It's taking way too long to get that money in the bank. It's taking way too long for you to lose that weight and get your body together. It's taking way too long for whatever, right? And it makes it so easy in today's society, just from talking to people, from friends to family members to coworkers to your brother, your sister, right? Especially if you're a sibling and you grew up and there was a family member or a parent constantly comparing to other people can compare themselves to you. Or just with social media, going online and just seeing how other people are living their life and remembering that people post their highlight reel, right? So oftentimes it seems like the grass is always greener online, but that's not always true, right? And it makes sense for you to make more time to cultivate your own self and your own garden and who you are and your own grass. What are your own grass instead of worrying about what's going on in the internet streets? But it's easy to see something one day and be like, damn, why am I not doing X, Y, and Z? Or why am I not further along when it comes to, because you have your idea, you have your vision, you have your goals, you got your thing going on. But sometimes there are some reasons, right, why things might take a little bit longer than you intended them to. And if you recognize these things, right, and you can kind of live by them, then it would allow you to be more at peace and at ease with yourself. It would allow you to be a lot more compassionate and forgiving to yourself when maybe you might see someone else doing something and you're not there yet. And instead of you envying the fact that that person is getting married, instead of doing that because maybe you're not at that particular place, remembering that you are her and she is you, right? And remembering that, the fact that that person is getting married should not give you envy, right? But it really should give you hope. And I guess it should give you hope, right? It should rub off like, oh, that's going to be me soon. Let me go ahead and look at that and see what it is and get the positive vibes from it. Are you following me? And then we also got to keep in mind that what God has created, i.e. you, right? What God has created is not for you to compete. You cannot compete what God never intended for you to compare. You cannot compete what God never intended for you to compare. And if he made you in your mother's womb, he knew you before you were in there, and he had a purpose for you. Nobody can compete with that. That means you also cannot compete with anybody else because y'all were never meant to be compared. Because in no way, shape, or form are you ever going to be the same as anybody else out here. So your timeline, the things that you do are never, ever going to be in alignment because God never intended for those things to be compared. So the three things that I need you to remember as you continue on this journey, right? So number one, I need you to know you need to keep going. You need to keep going and you need to not give up, right? That actually wasn't number one, but I'm saying number one. But my actual legit number one thing that I need you to remember, and I need you to understand that when it comes to destiny and that when it comes to purpose, there's always a divine deadline that is attached to that. Now, we as humans don't always know what that deadline is, but that's why we have faith and that's why we have to trust. That's why we have to believe. That's why we have to not get jealous and envious. That's why we have to not give up along the journey because you never know. You can be grinding and hustling, doing something for 4 years, for 5 years. You could decide right now I'm going to be single for the next 5 years, 5 months, 50 years. You could say, Lord, I don't care how long it takes or how long you want me to be in this particular place, but I'm open for what's next. And I'm open for, my husband to show up. I'm open to my man proposing to me. And I don't care if it takes 5 minutes, 5 months, 5 years. I'm just open to it, which is saying you're open to that divine deadline, right? So often when we set goals, we think, oh, I'm gonna launch that book next year. But that doesn't always mean that's the right divine timing for that. And an excellent example of that, I was watching the Soul Train Awards and the music group, SWV, they got up there and they said that is one of the most, not even the most, I don't know if it's the first one, it might have been the first one, award that they have received, major award they've received in 25 years. Imagine you out here grinding, living in your purpose, you're touring the world, people love you, they love your music, and they got a Lifetime Achievement Award. And it took them 25 years to get such recognition. And when one of the members, I think it might have been Coco, but I don't remember, it might not have been, got up on the stage to receive that award, she even said that, right? And and I went and I posted on Facebook, right, that you can go from, no one knowing you at all, right? To being overbooked. You can go from overlooked to overbooked overnight. Think about somebody else like the rapper, whether you like her or not, Cardi B. A lot of people think she just blew up out of nowhere. No, Cardi B actually has been grinding and doing work for a number of years. She didn't just come out of nowhere. She even says that on one of her songs that I actually like. She's like, I didn't just come out of nowhere, right? So little do we know, in order to become an overnight success, it takes anywhere from 10 to 15 years. So, how people always told, oh, leave your 9 to 5, become an entrepreneur, is one thing that some people told, and you may not want to be an entrepreneur, but I'm sure you've seen that language. So many people are out here promoting that. But little do we know, again, divine deadline, divine time. And now if you say, God, I'm open to what it is you have next for me, then he can work with you. But you also can work with yourself, because that puts you in more at peace. And you know that you have the wisdom, you have the insight. Say, I'm open. And also make it plain to me what you want me to do next, or how you want me to position, where you want me to go, who you want me to be, what things do you need me to do. Then you'll be more at ease with yourself as you flow into that next level. The second thing I need you to understand, like I said, with so much stuff we see on social media, we see the glitz, the glam, the highlights, and we see that highlight reel going on, right, on social media. But one thing people are not showing us are the sacrifices. They're not showing you the surrendering they're doing to God. They're not showing the sacrifices that they have to make to have that relationship. They have to give up something. There's always going to be some type of cost that is attached to what you want, right? So those people like, oh, I'm making 6 figures, I have this amazing house, I have this, I have that. There is some level of sacrifice they're making. So instead of us glorifying people moving forward, I want us to start asking those people, or even thinking about what type of cost, what is it going to cost me to get to that level? Because there's something you're going to have to give up, or something you're going to have to do to get to that next level. And there's a sacrifice that comes along with that next level. Are you really prepared for that? Because if so, that's how you get to the dream life. If you have not positioned yourself for that, then it's very hard for you to have that ideal and dream life if you don't realize that there's a cost attached to it. And there's sacrifices they're giving up. They're just not showing you all of those things online, right? Because it's not always glamorous on this journey, right? Because everybody wants to have, the glory. Oh my God, I'm amazing. But nobody wants to have that story of triumph and overcoming. So that's something that we got to keep in mind, right? As we move forward, right? It's not enough to just have the glory of God and everything is perfect and amazing and I live this dream life, but you want to have but everybody doesn't want to have that story. But part of that story means you have to go through the process. Everything's not going to be peaches and cream and pleasure, and praise, and you making a whole bunch of profit and all this different stuff, right? There's a process that you got to go through to make sure you're profitable in your business, to make sure you're living a joyous, happy, and pleasing and pleasurable life, right? Or to make sure you're getting the praise and the glory that you feel like you deserve. There's a story that's going to be attached to that, right? Am I wrong? Right? And then the last thing, which is number 3, thing that you got to remember is not only do you have to, that those are sacrifices that you have to make. There's a cost for what it is that you want. There's a divine deadline for what it is that you want. But there is a consistency, a discipline, a hard work and commitment that goes along with all of this. So you giving up is not an option. Imagine the best of you people like, oh, okay, I ain't never got no award. No. Another example would be Pharrell Williams. I know you know Pharrell, and I watched a documentary or interview a couple of years ago. And Pharrell, he always, as you know, he has his little nerd, whatever, but he's always featured, with Jay-Z, with Snoop Dogg. And he was talking about how, he got to a place where he was like, am I just always going to be the one featured? When is it going to be my time to be that breakout artist and have my own song? And it wasn't until he got happy, and I don't know how many years it was into his career, but he had the song "Cause I'm Happy," right? And it wasn't until that song came out that was his moment. So how do you know your moment could be tomorrow? So you could have been praying for a husband for the last 10 years and your relationship status is just not going where you want it to go, and then in 2 days it could be the day, but you might choose to give up today or get weary or doubt it. Do not give up. Do not give up. That's my main message. Don't give up. Keep going. Because you just never know. You can be grinding in your business for the last 2 years and you're like, that's not working. But you just never know. 3 years from now could be your divine time. And out of nowhere, you can get one call from Oprah and she could say, I need you on the set in 2 days because I heard you do X, Y, and Z. Your life changed in a blink of an eye. Right? Your life can change like that. God can take you from being overlooked to overbooked. He can take you from single to married in a year or less, in 2 days or less. I don't know, that seems really quick, right? I know. He can take you from having no money to having a lot of money in 2 seconds, right? People do it all the time. They do it all the time, right? So you have to keep up that faith, right? But you got to remember there's a consistency that comes along with it. There is a discipline that comes along with this, right? And if you want to make sure that you're staying focused and you're diligent in terms of your prayer practice, then you need to have a daily confidence and prayer ritual that you have in your life. You need to be constantly listening to, confidence audios, confident videos, like constantly keep you on the right mindset. Think about, what are you feeding yourself that keeps you consistently on this journey of not only loving yourself, but keeping your vision and your dream alive, right? Day by day, month by month, year after year, until it manifests. I know something that I had in my journal, and as I was reflecting just recently, I noticed a pattern. And one thing I constantly said was, am I always going to be in this particular place doing these particular things around these particular people? And it's something that I realized I put down over and over again, but realizing I'm in control of my life. So if I want that fierce dream life, what am I going to do? What sacrifices am I going to make? What is the cost of it? But at the end of the day, the cost of it can also be positive, right? Think about right? So you can think about, well, if I lose a certain thing, how's that going to feel? But think about, well, what will I gain even if I have to sacrifice, going out a couple of times so I can be more abundant and have more money in the bank? Or, what can I sacrifice not dating a whole bunch of people, talking to a whole bunch of people at one time for a certain season to position me for my husband for marriage, right? So those are just a couple of random examples, but just thinking about those things helps to position you, helps to put you in the right alignment for what it is that you need to manifest the dream life that you truly desire, right? Because ultimately you are here to not only just become the highest, fullest expression of yourself, which is really why you're here, but you're also here to learn those particular lessons, right? We have to learn how to sacrifice. We have to learn how to surrender, right? You have to learn how to discipline yourself and be committed to the vision, because there are a lot of people who are successful had they given up. And now let me get this straight. They might have given up for a small amount of time, or they might have lost hope, but I'm pretty sure they bounced back and they kept going. And that's something I will encourage you to do, is to keep going. Maybe you have a bad day, maybe you have a bad week, maybe 1 year is very challenging and trying because a lot of things just happen. That is life. But I need you to remember you can keep going. I need you to remember you can have your dream life. I recommend right now, and I encourage you to go to unleashyourfierce.com/dream and sign up for your free Fierce Dream Life Planner. Right? So you can plan and map out, the upcoming year for yourself and for your life. I also recommend you go to unleashyourfierce.com/camp and you sign up for Born Fierce Boot Camp so that you can use 21 days to really reset yourself and get yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually in alignment so that you can receive these things and be more in a position to receive the blessings and the things that you've been praying for in terms of this fierce dream life and this ideal life that you desire to live, because you are worthy of it. You are so, so, so worthy of it. But just remind yourself there are divine deadlines, and I'm okay with that because I'm open. Don't be so rigid and so stuck to my set ways that you miss a blessing or something that God is trying to bring to you because you want that right now. Oh, I'm almost 30, or I'm 45, or I'm this, or I'm that, so it has to come right now. No, that is not how it works. Learn how to surrender. Learn how to sacrifice. Learn how to be disciplined, right? Learn how to be open. And you will feel a whole lot more peace, happiness, confidence, and fierceness if you can master those things.